Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another training session here at the Trans-Pacific Union on the mat. And it's great that you can join us today. It's another week, and we're happy to have our assistant IT technician. Yes, Felix, thanks for being with us this afternoon on the mat. It's great to have you, and feel sharing some very information in regards to technology, and especially when you're trying to choose and decide on buying a laptop that will be used for your work, for your ministry. These are some great tips that you can note down, you can have when you're sort of surfing the web, or going from shop to shop, trying to see what will best suit you. And he will be talking about that, giving some advice, some tips. And without further ado, Felix, give you this time to start your little training on IT tips you can share with members. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Looking to share it with everyone. Let me see. This is still working.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll just share your PowerPoint as well. There you go.
There might be some issues with my backdrop. I think we can just deal without it for now.
Felix, while you're working on that, just thought to ask.
Maybe just ignore that. Sure.
How long have you been working here at the Trans-Pacific Union?
I've been working here for quite a while. I would say almost 6 years, give or take few months.
Right.
It's quite a while now.
And basically, in line of your work, you get to answer questions and help IT related issues from all around the Pacific, all around the Trans-Pacific Union. Is that correct?
That is correct. I normally look after Vanuatu and Tonga, but whenever I could help, I would help the other missions such as American Samoa and Samoa.
Okay.
Fiji mission is also included in that.
Right. Thanks, Felix. We'll get you to start on your presentation.
Okay, sure. So when I was given the chance to share with you guys something in regards to technology, I looked at all the topics, and what came to my mind was what is the biggest issue I face when in local missions and also the past, and what problems they normally face. So what if I look in my past few years I've been working here, and there are quite a few problems that I noticed that almost everyone has, or at least majority of people have, and that I'm not choosing equipment which they need. Sometimes it's because of budget that they could not afford it. Sometimes they had the budget, but they picked the wrong equipment. So what I would be sharing with you guys is getting what you really need. This is from my perspective. Some other people might share the same perspective with me. Nowadays, technology is the way forward. If you want to reach a large audience or you want to be efficient in the work you do, technology is the way forward. Not only um, um, is technology the way forward, you'll find out it is very, very convenient. There there's a large variety of equipment that's out there. You've got laptops, you've got tablets, you also have PCs. It depends on what you need it for. Before I go on, I would touch a little bit on stewardship because being a good steward really, uh, really is important. Um, being a steward of a good steward of God, I would say, um, is a good practice, and not only that, it will help with your financial status. If you are working for a church and you're deciding to buy a laptop, just remember when you buy it, please um, make good use of God's money. We must also know that uh, Psalms 24:1 reminds us that everything on earth and everything that is in it is the Lord's. Even the money which you take to purchase your equipment, it belongs to the Lord. So you must make good use of it and don't squander it. Getting this equipment will also help us with the theme for this quinquennium. I will go. If you're planning to move into something which is like virtual preaching and all that, this will help you. And remember, when you spend a little money, it's also some form of investment. And not only not when you invest in stuff, it's you also get returns, and you do not want to have a bad investment. So I'll be talking about equipping yourself for success. Um, Many times I hear this saying, people tell me, I hear it over and over again, use the correct tools for the job. You can use some of the tools that will work, but it's not as efficient. Sometimes if you use tools, if you use that are not meant for the job or you force it, sometimes you can break it. So it's time for us to do a little bit of planning on what you need or what you might need if you're planning to um, branch out into technology in helping you preach, not only preach, evangelize. And some people might think, do I really need to plan when I'm getting a laptop? Some people might get surprised, but there is always this saying. I'm not sure if Benjamin Franklin started it. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Sometimes your wish comes true, but most of the time uh, it might not go the way you want it to be. So the first question is when you are going out to look for maybe a laptop. Um, Mainly, I'll be talking about laptops, computers. So I'll base it around that topic. Um, what is it you are wanting? Who is to use it, and where is it going to be used? Um, when you ask yourself these questions, you're gonna figure out slowly what sort of equipment you're wanting to get. Um, First of all, um, what am I wanting? If it's gonna be, let's say, a laptop, okay, who is gonna use a laptop? Where is it gonna be used? if you're going to be out and about in the field every day, you're going to be moving from house to house, you want something small, something portable. Oh, thank you, Marika. um, if you're just gonna stay at home and it's not gonna go anywhere, you might just want a desktop. A desktop is fine, you can just have that at home. And there are many other factors you have to consider. uh, you also might want to consider the durability of the machine you get in, how long can it last. And you also have to look at the pros and cons. If you're getting a computer, downside for it is when the power goes off, it goes off. Uh, I've been getting a lot of complaints. Oh, the power went off, my computer went off, I lost all my data. And that's why it is slightly more advantageous. I would say it's not a small advantage, it's a big advantage to get a laptop over a computer. Um, like I said, laptops come, or computers, they come in many shapes and sizes. You can either go for Windows, you can go for a Chromebook, or you can go for something small, something portable. You can go for tablets. It's totally up to you what you want in after you have decided what you're going to get. If you're going to get a laptop, I'm going to be I'm going to be, okay, there's something weird going on. Okay, I'm going to be touching more a bit more on laptops. I won't really dive into desktops in general because it is not portable and it is not as efficient as laptops when you are going to um, be out on the go. Um, but before we move into that, I will ask you now this question. How will you interact with it? Do you know how to use the laptop? Um, this is another challenge I come across. Um, I wouldn't say some. I would say I would consider some of the field ministers. They're not as good when it comes to technology. They just know the basics, and this is something you might have to consider. How will I interact with it? And that comes down to the operating system. Some people just know how to use Mac. Some know how to use Windows, some prefer Android, some prefer Chrome. Um, so whichever you're familiar with, I would say you go for that because you wouldn't complain, oh man, why did I get this when I'm not familiar with it? So if you're good at using a Mac, go for it. If you're good at using a Windows operating system, go for it. Um, according to um, according to this chart which I uh, got, a lot of people they prefer to use Windows over the other platforms. You see, Windows computers, they take a huge chunk of the market. It's about 71%. I'm not sure if it has increased or decreased, but as you've seen over the years, it's around that 75, 71. And most people are familiar with the Windows interface. So if you're going for Windows and you like using Windows, this presentation is geared up to suit you because the Windows computers are um, slightly cheaper compared to a Mac. That's from my experience here in Fiji. Um, Moving on to the Windows interface. So once you've decided on what you're getting, that's fine. Um, Now you're going to move a bit more into depth. So you've decided what type of computer, what size, shape, and then you're going, okay, it's going to be a Windows. And then what is next? You would want to look at the requirements. that you need to operate it. Most people say, "Oh, let's just look at the minimum and then let's just go up there and then that should be fine. It should work." Most people, they do not look at the minimum requirements and they just go ahead and purchase it. I would say that is a very unwise move because it's not planned. And I've come across sometimes where the machine was purchased and it was purchased without any consultation. And after it was purchased, it was too late. It was already a month and they couldn't return it to get a better computer. Um, so when purchasing any machine, whether it's a Mac or a Windows, just make sure you know the hardware capability it provides. And according to Microsoft, this is the minimum requirements for Windows 10. And the question, these figures here, like some people just don't know what it is. I will slowly go into it. So you would have a rough idea on what you get in. Basically, the processor is the speed, how fast the computer can operate at. Um, RAM and the hard drive, those two, they are like the storage component of the computer. If you're gonna um, save it permanently, it goes to your hard drive. If you just gonna use it, open it, edit files and everything goes into your RAM, and that's how it goes. So this is the minimum requirements given. When creating this presentation, I had a look at my task manager, and I found out 1 GB of RAM it doesn't cut it. So if you go to a shop and you um, see that they've got a laptop, it's my ideal type of laptop, it's within budget, and you see that it has 4 GB of RAM. Um, you might you might not know what 4 GB RAM does, but I tell you, it's not that much when it comes to Windows 10. Windows 10, you need at least 3 GB just to turn it on. 1 GB can work, but it's pushing to the limits. 3 GB, it's ah, you don't have any 3 GB RAM. 4 GB is okay. You can do a few things, just like maybe just watching a few YouTube videos, do a bit of browsing, some assignments, but you cannot really multitask if you have 4 RAM. And the current laptop which I use, it's certified. It's been with me for quite a while. I've been using for the past 4 years, and it's served me really well. I've got a new one and slowly moving over to the new one. This old laptop, one reason why I like it is because I know exactly what is in it. Um, I've modified the CPU. I've put in a better CPU in it. I've also upgraded the RAM over time. When I first got it, it's just 4 GB. It was using 4 GB, and I was using Windows 7 back then. 4 GB, Windows 7, that was okay. And I upgraded to Windows 10. 4 GB wasn't that good, so I decided I will upgrade to 8 GB. So I was using 8 GB, and then updates came. Um, in 2019, a few updates came, and especially the Microsoft programs, they consume a lot of RAM. And 8 GB didn't cut it for me anymore. I just kept hitting 90%, 90%, 99, and it was slowing down my work. So I decided I will up to 16. So when I got 16, everything just went smoothly, and I don't face any issue where it just like slows down, slows my work, not responding. And I found out Not only is hard space important, your RAM is just as important as your CPU also.
Felix, I had a question just
Sure.
regards to what you're sharing about the RAM memory, and
Yep.
I sometimes get confused between the memory and storage.
Okay.
Because they also come in that GB language, you know. Could you
B.
just
Yep.
differentiate between what the memory does in relation to laptop and storage, the difference?
Okay. That's a good question. There are many ways to go about solving this question. Okay. Uh, think of it this way, comparing it to a human. Um, the things you did yesterday, it's in your memory, it's stored somewhere. And if you don't think about it, it is still there in your memory, right? Unless you forget about it. So that is your permanent memory there that's fixed in your history. That is like storage space, like an external hard drive. You
Okay.
think about it, you go back, you take it from there and think about it. RAM is like what you're thinking right now. Once you're done with it, it's over. Sometimes you don't recall it, it's gone. That is one way of explaining it. It's like just thinking about it, and when it's gone, it's gone. It's like processing memory. Um,
Okay.
Let me explain it in another way. Um, RAM is more like temporary. So, um, if you save a document, let's say if you save a Word document, it goes directly into your disk space, into
Mm.
your hard drive. Your most computers, it's a local disk C. It stores in your documents. Not only does it store in your documents, it's there permanently.
Okay.
RAM, on the other hand, this is how it works. So the next day you decide to open your document. Let's say your document is let's put it at 50 megabytes. That's a size for your document. So you open it, it will load your document. Where it loads your document, it loads it in the RAM.
I see.
So RAM is temporary, it's not fixed permanently. So by chance, if you're using a computer and you haven't saved and you haven't saved any changes, the power goes off, it gets wiped off from the RAM. It's not there forever.
Right.
Unless you save it in your hard drive space, then it's permanent.
I
So
see.
RAM is like, yeah,
Yeah, so having more RAM, like you were sharing in
mhm,
terms of, 8 GB or even 16 GB, and it even doubles
mhm,
that to 32, and then it goes on. But to have more, do
mhm,
more with, more applications running at the same time. Um, like you said, multitasking. Is that
mhm.
right? Okay.
Okay, I think my next picture will give a bit more insight into RAM. Can you see that?
Yes. Helpful.
Memory. This is in megabytes. So if you every 1,000 megabytes, we can put it like that. Every thousand is 1 GB. So if you
Mhm.
look at Chrome, my Chrome, I have 78 tabs open in Chrome. You might not, I'm not sure if everyone is like me, but I just leave my tabs open. I can have at least 78 tabs open, at least 100 tabs open. For me, that is just me. Like if I need something, it's on that tab. If I need something, it's on that tab. Just comes to a
Mm.
point, I just close it all and then starts again. I can do that because I have a lot of RAM.
Right.
Yeah, it's 16 is considered a lot, but in the near future, Windows 11, 16 is not a lot. So just keep that in mind. I'll later elaborate a bit more on it. Um,
Thanks, Felix. That's helpful. Yeah.
yeah, so you can think of it this way. If you are one person that only can think about one thing, you have low RAM. But if you're a person who can think about many things at the same time and multitask at the same time, you've got a lot of RAM. So RAM is like that.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
I hope we don't
No,
have too many people with single RAM memory space.
yeah,
Yeah, thank
um,
you. You can continue.
yeah. Yeah, if you have any questions about this stuff, just let me know because I really like
Mm.
answering people's questions. Coming back to
Yep.
our minimum requirements. So these minimum requirements here, 1 gigahertz, that is, you might not know, but for me, that's you need at least 12 gigahertz if it's going to be a single processor. But if you have a quad core or a 6 core processor, 2.5 gigahertz would do, and 1 GB RAM. Now, I'm asking you this question if, since you've seen my task manager, 1 gigabyte of RAM, is that enough? You need at least 3 GB of RAM just to start your computer up for it to run smoothly. If you have 4 GB RAM, is that good enough? How much can you do? It's not that much. So 8 GB would really be good. Your hard disk space does more necessarily mean it's good. I might touch a bit on the hard disk space later, but back
Mm.
to our stewardship first. If everything is allowed, make sure you pick the correct one that will do what you want it to do.
Mm.
Um, Not only
Felix,
when,
just
yep,
sorry, we have a question coming in, and I think this is
mm-hmm,
in relation to the specs, and
mm-hmm.
it's from boy. He asking, can you do recording and post it? I think this is in relation to the specs. What are the best specs if you were to
Okay, okay.
do
I,
certain
I I will
tasks like this? Yeah.
I will come back and it's in my presentation.
Okay. Thanks.
Um,
Yeah.
I'll cover it shortly. Um, like I was saying, being a good steward, you have to pick what's suited the task which you want it to, and not only that, um, make sure that you make the best of decision that's there. Hopefully, my presentation will help you make good decisions when it comes to picking a laptop for your ministry. Um, this is also something you have to consider. Not everything lasts forever, and I got this chart here from Spiceworks. I just want to dwell more on the laptop and the desktop lifespan. If you see, more than half of laptops, more than 50, yeah, it's exactly 54. I did the math. 54%, they last less than 4 years. Only 4% of them last 2 years. But this is according to Spiceworks, and this is in regards to um, work laptops. For home laptops, it might change because who knows, someone spilled water on it, the screen cracked or anything. But this is according to what they've sent, and I agree with these specs, with this data that they've sent, because most of the computers I service, they are around 3 years old, and when we give out donated laptops, they usually last another 2 years. So most of the laptops which I come across, they typically last 5 years, and that's pushing it. 5 years is the specs. It just doesn't match well with the software that's out there. So on average, laptops last up to 5 years. So if you get in a laptop, I would say you plan into the future and make sure your laptop can last you 5 years. So this is uh, the recommendation for the minimum requirements. So when picking the minimum requirements, you have to ask yourself you have to ask yourself these questions again when picking it, and look at the specs for the laptop which you see and which you like, and you're gonna ask yourself, um, is what I'm gonna be using it for? Will this machine last at least 5 years? And you can ask yourself all the other questions to really think if you're gonna yeah where was I? Sorry, there was a small disruption just outside. You're gonna have to ask yourself about the compatibility. Is it compatible with what I'm wanting it for? Before we go on, I will just give you my minimum requirements. For me, this is it. If you wanna continue at least for the next 5 years, these minimum requirements, it worked for me. It could work for you. Um, you could at least get an i5. That's my minimum requirements to you. If you're looking for a processor, you look at the sticker. If it's using AMD, you can go for, I think it's called a Ryzen 5 or something like that. I don't really deal much with AMD, but that is what I understood. It's either you get um, the 5 or the 7, that's fine. But this is my minimum requirements to you if you're planning on using an Intel computer. Get an i5. Uh, and when you get an i5, you'll notice that your work, it doesn't lag behind. But if you want to go above and beyond, you can go for an i7, if not an i9. It's totally up to you, but you must keep in mind that you also have a budget. If you go in for RAM, 8 GB RAM, um, I would recommend that you get that. But if you're planning ahead for the next 5 years, get 16 GB RAM, because Windows 11, when it comes out, um, according to reviews I've seen on YouTube, 8 GB RAM, it works, but you need more. And if you get going for hard drive space, like I've been mentioning earlier, does more mean better? Um, Sometimes if you look at a laptop and they say, oh, this laptop here has 1 TB of space. And sometimes people normally buy laptops um, because of the hard drive space. This is something which I saw. Almost everyone is influenced by hard drive space. And for me, um, this is my personal view. Some people share the view with me. More doesn't necessarily better. When you have more hard drive space, your laptop will slow down to accommodate for the space. It will try to um, find what you're looking for. It'll take a while. And most laptops that are out there, um, this this is more likely in the Pacific Islands. Most laptops out there that says, "Oh, you have 1 TB hard drive," and you look at price, the price for the laptop is too good to be true. It's within your budget. Let's say it's somewhere around 1,000 Fijian dollars, so that would be 600 Australian. You would think, oh, this laptop here is good. It has 1 TB of space, and you overlook the RAM, you overlook the processor, and after you have bought the laptop and you find out that it is a bit slow, maybe 1 or 2 months, give or take, you find out it is really slow, and then you later find out the RAM is 4 GB, the processor is an Atom processor, and then you you say it's supposed to be a fast laptop. It has 1 TB of hard drive, but hard drive space doesn't speed up your laptop. It kind of slows down your laptop. So if you get in a laptop, I would say go for something that's at least 256 GB, or if not, you could go for 500 GB, it's 512 GB, and also make sure the hard drive you get in. Just like car tires, hard drives, they come in different shapes and sizes and capabilities. So hard drives, you've got the traditional one, the one that spins, the one that has a disk in it. Those ones are slow, very, very slow. Um, Nowadays, you can get pictures that are 25 megabytes. Um, some pictures can even go up to 50 megabytes. You've got videos that are 1 GB, 2 GB, and most of the time we are moving files, large files. And if you get a slow hard drive, let's go with the 1 terabyte hard drive I was talking about earlier, the one that uses the traditional one. It spins. It, let's say you get a 500 RPM hard drive. That is slow. Although the storage space is high, it is slow. You can get speeds up to 70 megabytes per second. Um, Sometimes you can get speeds up to 20 megabytes per second. Sometimes it's really bad. You only get 5 megabytes per second or 4 megabytes per second. So your copying speed is very, very slow. Um, but if you get a solid state, they are few out there in the market. But most laptops nowadays, they come with this NVMe solid state hard drive. If you go for an M2, I would say it would be really fast. I've tried this out just recently. Um, I've installed a few of these solid state hard drives in our Hope Clinic. No, it's not the Hope Clinic. It's the Hope TV station. I've installed it into their computers, and you get speeds up to at least 4 gigabytes per second. That's the capability of the hard drive. So if you copy in video files that are 4 GB, it will take 1 second. But if you're using a slow hard drive, that 4 GB can mean 10 minutes. So getting hard drive, um, make sure you get a good hard drive with the computer you are picking. Not only when you look at the minimum requirements, you also look at the price for it, and you also look and see and find out if they have warranty that comes with the computer. Warranty, it doesn't cover physical damage, like if you drop your laptop and it cracked and it stopped working. It doesn't cover that. It covers factory fault. Um, when you get in warranty, most of the time it's the basic one. It's just 1 year and it's up and over. Sometimes your laptop doesn't work 1 year, 1 month, and yeah, you might have to buy a new one. So get warranty that's up to 3 years. Some people extreme, they go for 6 years, but as we've looked earlier, laptops, they last at least 5 years. More than half of laptops out there, they just last for 4 years. So 3 years warranty, that's good enough. People might say, warranty, it's expensive. Sounds expensive. Um, just recently, I bought a personal laptop, and I found out that warranty is not that expensive. $50 per year. So I had it. I got warranty for 4 years. The 1 year default that comes within, and an additional 3 years. This $50 here is in Fiji dollars, so it's a very small amount. So getting it under warranty for 4 years, for me, if anything happens to it, the touchpad stops working, the keyboard stops working, they will repair it free of charge. Um, so before I carry on, is there anyone that wants to ask any questions? Okay. You can just give your questions to John, and then I will stop during the presentation and answer your
Yep.
questions.
Yep. Keep going, Felix. Thanks.
Also, when you out there, I've given John a few links which you could check. You could check the laptops that are out there, which the big brands are selling. If you're planning on getting a Dell laptop, normally I deal with Dell laptops. They're quite durable. They can last quite a good number of years, and not all models last that long. But the models I've come across, they've served me well, served others that are working with me well, and there are also good brands out there too, like HP. Um, you might consider Lenovo also, um, but it's totally up to you within your budget and also within good specs. Just make sure you look at that. Not only that, if you cannot shop online for your computers or you cannot get it from overseas, um, and you go to your local supermarket and you look for a computer, and you might say, why is it so expensive, or it cost this much? Or you look at the specs for this laptop and you say, why is this computer so cheap? um, the best answer is go online and see what is there, the minimum that's out there. um, I think I'll just quickly share this with you guys. um, Let me see if I can share my other screen with you guys. Share screen. All right, here we go. So let's go to the HP website. Um, Looking at the laptops which they sell, um, like I've said on in my presentation, this is an investment. You have to spend a little bit, and every little bit goes up. Um, and make sure you invest well. Um, this is the HP website. These are the laptops which they have on sale. You also have to take note the refurb. You also have to look at the specs. So these are the cheapest laptops within what I was recommending earlier. i5. One of the reasons why I get an i5, i3 might sound good also, but if you're using Zoom and you've looked at Chopper's presentation on Zoom, one of the requirements for Zoom is that you now have to use an i5. Reason being, the background doesn't work on anything other than an i5. So you have to keep up with technology. Technology is not going back; it's going forward, and the numbers are constantly going up. So these laptops cost roughly about this much in Aussie dollars. So it's I would say this one here. It's 14-inch. If you do not like something that's a big, look for something smaller. But this is the reality of pricing. You can also online to see if local shop is overset or they there for profit, or are they there to help people around you. Something you also have to factor in. You also have to factor a duty when you are purchasing online. I'm not sure the duty rates here or wherever you watch this from, but that is something you also have to factor in duty when you purchase stuff online. This is the HP website. One of the websites which I really like to look for laptops is the Dell website. Um, you can actually pick your budget. Let's just say this is the ideal budget for laptops. It's around $1,000 to so if you have a look at this, this is from the lowest price and it's within spec. You have an AMD Ryzen here, AMD Ryzen 5. You look at you see an AMD Ryzen 7, and it's just a few more dollars more. If I were you, I would go for this AMD Ryzen 7. Although it's a few dollars more, there's a big difference. If you're just going to use it at home or at your local, Windows 10 Home is fine. You can use it, but if you in a work environment, you might want to consider getting a Windows 10 Pro. Um, the RAM for this is fine, the storage space is fine, and also got a fast hard drive in it. It's using an NVMe solid state hard drive. So even though this is one of the lowest laptops that's it really it can do the job you do. This is something I also observed when I went on the Pacific in 2019. The computer shops out there, they sell laptops with 4G. 4 GB RAM does work, but you cannot really multitask. I've explained it earlier, and if you are buying it for your church, it's fine. You can do a few PowerPoint presentations, but sometimes you can problems that pop up like PowerPoint presentation is not responding, and the transitions are not smooth as possible. It could be your RAM or it could be your processor. So just get i5 8 GB RAM laptop and that solves most of your problems. Um, this is the Lenovo website. You can also browse and whatever that suits your need and also within budget. Let's move back to my PowerPoint presentation. Is there does anyone have any question? I saw John pop up for a moment there.
Um, yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll also have your email address, Felix, and you may have questions later on, can email direct for advice. And it's there on the screen, guys. Feel free to contact Felix. Can give some great advice on which is the best laptop that would suit your needs, despite whatever work or ministry you may need to use it for. He'll be able to give advice. Thanks, Felix. You can continue. I think you have also a bit of antivirus that you were going to.
Okay,
well.
yeah, I'll quickly run through this. I'm running against time right now. So,
Yep.
good laptop practices. After you purchase a laptop, some people they don't really care about handling it. We must also take note that laptops are fragile, so handle it with care. Um, this is something you also have to take note. Heat is not good for your laptop. Most people they kill their laptop because of the vent for their laptop is meant to put either on your lap. Sometimes it gets too hot. Look for a flat surface. Do not put it on a cloth surface. I've cleaned laptops that have a lot of dust in it. It just chokes the life out of it and it died. It's either you get a flat surface. You can also buy a cooling pad laptop. It also increases the lifespan. And not only that, you also have to take note that if your laptop overheats, it's just gonna slow your laptop down. There's safety mechanisms in the laptop that detects when the temperature is at certain degrees. It will force the laptop to be slower so that it doesn't get bad. So that's something you have to uh, uh, keep in mind. Do not put it on anything that's cloth. Not only that, you must not eat or drink with your laptop that's around. Um, I've fixed a lot of laptops, and I find food in laptops when I'm repairing laptops, and sometimes it's the cause of the keyboard getting bad, and I don't fault much for it, but at least eat in a sensible manner and do not sleep with your laptop. I've repaired laptops where they actually stepped or rolled over their laptop or something they done with their laptop. Um, I've also come across an article where someone died because of the laptop was in bed. The laptop overheat and it burnt the mattress, and then he died from that. So do not sleep with your laptop. These are just few advices I'm giving you about laptops. Uh, Not only that, have backup. Backup is important. You can either backup on the cloud, Google, yes, Google Drive. Google Drive, the free version is just 15 GB. 15 GB might not sound like a lot, but you can keep your most important documents there, like your scanned copies of your birth certificate. So just keep the important stuff there. Your movies and whatnot, you can just put it on a hard drive. An external hard drive doesn't cost that much, so constantly back up your data. You never know when your laptop will um, give up on you. Not only that, people have to physically clean their laptops. When I get laptops to repair, one of the things which I do before I do work on is clean it. Sometimes that solves the issue. In the keyboard, the fan is clogged up with dust. The fan stopped working because there's a lot of dust in it. So do clean your, help prolong the lifespan of it. Not only that, it's also good practice, and it's been a good enough the God's property. Um, this is what I normally face when I clean computers. It's just dust, dust, dust. Um, Sometimes I'm not sure if it's appropriate to share this, but I got some insects in them also, from bed bugs to ants. I even got a lizard in a laptop, and it's an eye opener for me. So do clean your laptops and computers, because when they get dusty, they get bad very quickly. Also, virtually clean it. I'm not sure if I have enough time to run through this, but sometimes when you're out of space on your laptop or computer, and you I need a hard drive, and then out stuff, but then you just cannot figure out what's taking up space and where is it. There's a program. I'll just get John to share it. John, can you share that link which I've given you? Yep. I'm not really sure how to pronounce this because I've heard many ways how it's pronounced. So I'll just give the pronunciation which I know. It's called Winterstead. I think that's it. You can download it from this net, and it's a very small program. It doesn't take up a few GB. It just takes up 50 MB, and the requirements to use it is not that much. So if you look at, for me, it's the picture on my right. Um, So what this program does is it scans your whole hard drive, and it gives you a mosaic image of what's taking up your hard drive space. So in this picture here, sorry, it's not that big. If you look at the green and the red tile, that is one of the files that's on your hard drive. And just by looking at that red tile, you can tell, oh man, that is taking a lot of space. And then you look at the green one, you look at the purple one. Um, Different colors indicate different types of files you have on your machine. So if you really want to clean up your hard drive space, clean up all the clutter, and just delete it, this might be one of the programs that will really help you. And that's for the virtual clean. Um, if given the chance, and I can do another presentation on technology, I can dive deeper into programs that could help you uh, in solving problems for your computer. Um, there's also You'll also come across laptop problems. I will just cover this last bit, and it's to deal with virus. There are a lot of viruses that are out there, and if you're not careful, your laptop could be infected. It's best that you install an antivirus on your laptop. A free one would do the job, but if you can afford it, I would recommend that you purchase an antivirus, because the free version, it doesn't really do deep scanning. It just does basic functions, and it does a job, but you can never be too careful. Um, so for me, when I get laptops that are virus infected, I always ask them, do you have a backup of what you need? If they do have the backup, I would scan their backup, because my antivirus is licensed. And if there's no virus there, I will present them this option, because for me, this option here is a thorough option, and it's for free. You can find it on your laptop. It's called Resetting This PC. What this does is it resets it to the very first day when you got your laptop. This is available on Windows 8, Windows 10, and hopefully the soon come in Windows 11. So what I normally do is I reset, and I tick the option remove everything. So everything is removed, and the virus is removed. Everything is back to normal. So some of you are wondering, how do I reset my computer? And most of the time, people take their laptops. Here in Fiji, it's uh, it's just $70 to get it diagnosed and fixed. And even a simple computer reset, it's $7, and it's quite expensive. I've been to Vanuatu, and the price over there, it's I think it's 7,000 Vatu just for them to look at it, and that's quite a lot of money just to look at it and do a simple reset. But if you can do this yourself, you can save a lot of money. If your computer is also slow, you can back up your data, you can do a reset, and it will be just as fast as when you got it. But if it's still slow or it has problems, you might have hardware issues, you might want to clean your computer, or um, get a new one if it's getting on with age. So how to reset your computer? You just go into your start, you just click on the start button, and you type in recover, and then you'll come to this area where it says recover your computer. You click on recover or reset, and then you just run through the process. You click reset, and then and then you just click next, and you'll be asked the option. You'll be asked this option. Sorry, this picture, I didn't get all the pictures. um, this picture will come up. It's either you keep your files, it will just keep your documents. If you have Word documents, PowerPoint, it will keep it. But I recommend you also back it up before you do that. Keep your files. But the best move is to remove everything. You might even have you will have to reload your programs if you do that. Do keep that in mind. And that's the $70 fix there. If you can just click on this recovery button, you can solve the problem yourself. And then if you cannot fix it, you'll be faced with the if you do if your computer is damaged, you'll come across this question in your mind whether I should repair it or replace it. If you look at the hardware specs and it's really low, it has low hardware specs, and you look at the RAM, it's maybe 4 GB. You look at the hard drive, you look at all of it and say, will this laptop go on? You also have to consider if you're going to repair it. If it's 1 year old, you can repair it. But if the specs is not there, you can get another one. If it's towards the end of its lifespan, I I would advise you against repairing it because it's just a waste. You might fix one problem, but then your battery will give up the next month, and then you fix that problem. By the time you've done fixing almost everything on it, it's still low spec. Not only is it low spec, that money which you used on repairing it, that would be at least half of what you need to get something that's better. And if it's the end of the life for it, just let it go and get a new one. It might sound bad because you're not giving it another chance, but that's the way it is with technology. Once it's um, come to an end of its life, that's it, move forward. Technology is always progressing, so the minimum requirements today, you'll get it tomorrow. This is the end of my session. Is there anyone there who would like to give
Yeah,
some questions to me?
thanks, Felix. Very thorough in regards to your coverage in what
Mm,
is, some tips to
mm,
look out for when choosing your laptop,
mm,
and
mhm,
very detailed as well. But there might be things that are specific to what you are looking for that
mm.
maybe was not shared in this presentation. Feel free to
Yeah,
contact
it's
us.
just small portion,
Um,
very small portion.
yeah, there's quite a lot that Felix has shared, but that's his email address. Feel free to contact him.
Mhm.
If you have found some specs of a laptop that you're interested in, maybe it fits your budget. Feel free to cross-check it with him to give you a bit of
Yeah,
advice.
I'm happy to help anyone who's
Yeah.
out there who's looking at technology and wants to purchase it but not sure if it's good enough. You can let me know and I will gladly help you out.
Thank you so much, Felix. We have actually somebody that just popped in a question here
Mm-hmm.
from
Sure.
our secretary from Samoa, Pastor Neru. If we purchase a laptop from Suva, how long will it get to appear? If what do you think from your experience, Felix? Sending
Um,
laptops from here?
okay, so sending laptops, it can be very quick. You can air freight it as long as there's a plane, it will go across in that. It can be
Yeah,
as quick as 1 week, as slow as 3 weeks.
yeah,
If it's very, very slow, 6 weeks. That's it.
mm,
Because freight is always going, it is always going.
yeah.
So that's that. You, it. I would recommend that if you can get laptops from Australia, it's slightly cheaper than Fiji.
Okay.
But if you factor in everything, they basically come to the same price if you get in it. But yeah, um,
Mm. Yeah, thanks,
hmm,
Felix. I think
hopefully
that
that answers your question.
Yeah, and I'm sure Pastor Nehru can even, also contact you for the
Yeah.
details of what specs he's
Ye-
actually looking for.
Yeah. If we ever send in freight across to, is it Samoa? Is it Samoa, John?
Sorry?
Or is it Palu? Is it Samoa or
Samoa. Yeah,
Tuvalu?
Western Samoa. Samoa.
Okay. Yeah. Um, I'm I I'm not sure. We might be sending freight across soon because it's near the end of the year.
Mm.
If a laptop is purchased, we can send it across with that freight. It totally depends on when we are sending stuff, or you can also go through DHL. DHL will deliver it to your doorstep, so it might
Yeah.
be expensive, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
totally up to you.
Again, we'll have to be weighing our options
Mhm,
on that. So, but yeah, thank you, Felix, and thank you everyone for tuning in for our training on the mat today. And we would like to thank Felix for availing his time and resources, sharing his knowledge and wealth of experience with us in regards to the training that he has done. Felix, I'd like you to just close with a word of prayer and just pray for our missions and our pastors and also
mhm,
our church workers that maybe
mhm,
um, may find this helpful, especially using
mhm,
technology in their ministry. Thank you.
mhm. Okay, let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we'd like to thank you for this on the mat session that's been going on for quite some time. Thank you for giving me the wisdom and knowledge. I hope that whatever knowledge I've imparted here may help your workers out there to be good stewards and pick what they really need that will help them in whatever message they may be sharing. Dear Heavenly Father, as we leave this on the mat session, we ask a means of blessing to those who need it. This is my humble prayer in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you again, and see you again next week for another training on the
Mhm,
mat. But we have a session tomorrow that you can also join in. It will be with our Fulton College principal, Dr. Carlson. So we'll be interviewing him and he'll be sharing some upcoming events that will be taking place at Fulton College. So feel free to join us again for tomorrow between 3 and 4. Bye for now. Thanks again.